Hey guys, and welcome to the very first video on this channel, if it is actually going to be my very first video on this channel, but welcome. My name is Jez and I run a 3D printing e-commerce store through Etsy, my own website, eBay, Amazon, TikTok, and all of the above. I run it with my missus. It is my hobby. It might look like I have a lot of stuff going on, but it is generally a hobby still. It's just a side hustle at this point with my manager Pancake, Jinx the area manager, and then Trip, who's buggered off somewhere, my three boys basically. But this video, I kind of just want to like showcase what I do, some of the tips that I've learned through a year and a half of e-commerce. I have sold about, I think we're at 4,000 orders at this point now, so quite a large amount. We got like 2,500 through Etsy, Amazon. I do FBA, FBM, so I want to talk about that as well. We do it through Shopify, as well as all the other platforms that you can think of. We do sell on those. We design our own models. I have bought a few models, and I was licensing models, but they have cancelled their licensing agreement, so we're no longer licensing. We do have our own 3D designer who is dedicated to our business, as well as well, myself. I work from home, so I kind of on my days off or in the morning before I start my job, I come, sort out prints, get everything ready, and then my missus, she does all the pick and packaging, as well as helping out with online stuff. But this video is basically showcasing what I do in a day, with trying to give you some tips and tricks that I've learned, and some stuff that I know for a fact that other people don't do, which they definitely should do, and hopefully I can show that off for you guys. All right, enjoy the video. I did record this at the end of the day. The very first clip is from me literally waking up in the morning, not knowing what I'm doing, and literally just clicking the record button. Didn't have a plan then, kind of still don't have a plan now, so just enjoy this video. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing now is printing off the orders that have come down yesterday as well as today, and this is for all of the stores, being Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shop, my online store, all of the above. And we actually do stuff differently compared to what a lot of other companies do. So a lot of people print them off on their sticker labels, the 4x6s. Not here. We have figured out a way of basically saving quite a bit of cash on those labels, especially when it came to Christmas and we had about 2,000-3,000 orders. We actually print it all on a thermal label. If you guys want to actually see how we do this, say down below. It'll save you a pretty penny, obviously after buying the actual thermal label maker. But this is how we print them out. Nice big line like this, auto cuts everything, and then from here we basically sort it out into two categories. Now don't get me wrong, this can be a little bit tedious, but in the long run, keeping on top of the orders that I need to do, which is, we have some stuff that we've actually pre-printed, and then we got some stuff that is basically customized and print on demand. They basically need to go into two different categories. One that is ready to print, and then another one which is that I need to do it. So I do this with my missus. She does help me do the packing side of things. So it's basically her pile and my pile. That's kind of the way that it goes when it comes to this kind of stuff. And it's just easier to know what you got to do for that day, basically, right? We both know our jobs. When she comes home, she knows what she's got to do. And then vice versa for me, I know what I've got to do for the entire day. So obviously they've got to be blurred to a certain degree because you guys can't see what's going on. But this is the pile that's ready to go, and this is the pile that is jobs for me to do today. Okay, and then when it comes to these two piles, the ones that everything is printed off and ready to go, I basically just stick over here that you guys can't see. And then when it comes to, I guess in this case, the three that are customized or that haven't been printed off, I stick them up here. So I've got some of these magnets that basically just didn't work out. And I stick them on the railing here. So literally just like so, and then boom. And one of the things, if you do get a load of orders, which again during the Christmas period, basically Q2 and Q4 for me can be quite nutty sometimes, I set them up by the order number. So the stuff that needs to be done absolute ASAP goes on the left hand side here, and then the further on down this way, you know, they're less priority because I do first come first serve. If you order something, you are the next priority. And then let's say someone's ordered a customizable thing that matches someone else's, then, you know, sometimes I can group them up and basically save time and money because I can put them together. But in this case, we have 3 here, which actually, this one is, I put it off 2 that are the same. So that needs to get shredded for good old data protection. But yeah, so that's basically where I do it. I can see right here, okay, I've got 3 things I've got to do today. 2 of them are light boxes and 1 of them is a customized nameplate. So that's what I got to do. So I now need to go check the printers from last night, that what's printed. I'm pretty sure it's only 1 thing. Actually, yeah, only 1 thing I think. But I'm gonna go ahead in there and have a quick look at what's on the build plates. Okay, so this is one side of my print farm room, or whatever people like to call it. So over here, I have got my P1Ss racks. I've got 4 P1Ss. I have 2 A1s, and I have a H2S that's below you. We call that one train, by the way, because it sounds like the HS2. But yeah, anyway, so he's trained. They've all got names. My missus named them all. This is Chip, Bixie, Alex, and Binny. And then the A1's actually, one of the A1s is called A1 Bottom. And then the other one is called Axie. But anyway, so these are my printers. We do 8 color printing for quite a lot of our nameplates. And well, for a lot of our products as well, actually, we are a very colorful company, apparently. And then up here, we got our Sunloos. These filament dryers, I cannot recommend enough. These things have absolutely changed the quality of my prints, and simply just having dry printing whilst you can print is a great thing. Now, these are all the old AMSs apart from this one. I do know that Bambu has literally just released an update that gives you ability for the AMS2 Pro to print whilst drying, which makes no sense why it wasn't implemented from the very start, let's be honest. That's the whole reason why I actually got these, funny enough. But I actually, not the biggest fan of the AMS2. I have had consistent issues with this AMS. I might just be unlucky, but I prefer the AMS ones. I guess it's also easy to fix, parts are cheap as anything, and it's just simple balla bing, balla boom. This thing's not even old. I think it's like 6 months old with train, because that's what came with the HS2 that's below you guys. And the left tube, the left feeder just stopped working, and I couldn't buy any filament sensor for it or anything. So it's literally, no joke, sitting here with sponges inside for when I clean the plates. Yeah, that is my sponge holder. But apart from Chip, all these others have 8 filaments, so I guess 3 of them. And Bixie at the moment being this one, she isn't working. She's my first ever printer. She's got about 9,000 hours on her, and I'm pretty sure she's having extruder problems. She can't get it out properly. So she's turned off. I'm waiting for some extruder gears to come from Bambu, but it's just, she'll be fine printing. Like, she's a great printer. I've looked after her, but it's just, I'm pretty sure the extruder gear's going. So we are basically waiting apart from Bambu. I maintain all of my printers to a pretty high degree. Being a motorcycle rider, you look after your machinery and it looks after you. It's just one of those things. Some people don't even touch it and it still works perfectly. So yeah, this is a nameplate from last night. Okay, simple, handy, because one of those listings is actually this, they're the same colors, so that's perfect. So a little bit about the setup as well. In between each one of these, I have the different type of boards. So I do have SuperTack. I had a huge amount of SuperTack. When it comes to Christmas print and all that kind of stuff, having more plates than you need is an absolute godsend, because you can just swap them out, place it in, swap them out, place it in. You don't have to clean off the plate and try to peel off oh goodness, supports and all that kind of stuff. It's just grand having more plates than you need. So yeah, so I got Super Tack, PEI, and then I got textures right here. So they're all nice and spread out. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I do actually use glue on 2 of them, the black PEIs and the gold textures. One simple spray from a distance is enough to keep stuff down on the plate. I don't really have bed adhesion problems, but this literally costs like a £5, and I bought a load off the website 123-3D, and this is what I use sometimes to glue down my stuff. It doesn't really need it, but it's one spray, and when everything costs money, when a print fails or it lifts in the corners or whatever it is, it's just worth it in my opinion. My office is upstairs and I have a super bad memory. So sometimes the most simplest things could be getting a camera installed, which I did do, as you can see by Matey Boy here, so I can see all of the colors. But as soon as I got these Sunloos, I can't see inside of them anymore. So I had to come up with something else, which is a notepad. So I literally, each one of these is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. I write down number 1 on the notepad, and then for what plate it is, it's a texture plate. And then when it comes to the colors, I literally just write B1, and then it'd be gold 2, and it's in the top printer, which is the B1s, because you got A and B when it comes to Bambu. And yeah, that is literally how I remember what to do. Something else you might notice is I have fire alarms and smoke detectors and all that kind of stuff. This is a rented property. Even if it was my own house, I would still 100% recommend it. The amount of people that don't have any sort of fire deterrent or whatever alertness for their printers is crazy. People leave their printers on and then go out, but it's better to be safe than sorry. It's not worth burning my entire house down as well as my business because I didn't have a smoke detector. I do have one that's all the way down the end there in the living room, but realistically you got to think about it, right? If it's going to get all the way down there, this is already too much for you to handle. So it's good to just be safe in my opinion. But yeah, so it's a smoke detector, and then that's straight up a fire detector, and it literally just sits on top of the rack. I do have a print I need to print off. I do have a prepping area, but I'm going to come back down after I've actually sent the print to the printer. All right, so here we go. So all we do is literally the tactile printers. Black was in 1, gold's in 2. Boom. Simple as. So this is how I package my parcels. So we got a nice little area here, decent size, and with the ones that are ready to go, so not the ones I have to customize, the ones that my missus can sort out, basically you lay them all flat like that on every single spot you can do, okay? So in this case, this is a large item, being one around the corner. I'm going to treat it like it's one of our small items. So because of this particular item, I can give them a freebie because it matches the kind of category of what this item is. So you'll notice that when you're prepping or when you send your stuff off to customers and everything, people love free stuff. People love free stuff more than the stuff they paid for. So I always give freebies. So I have certain prints that just didn't work out or not the style that I want. Instead of throwing them away, even though they got a little bit of defects on them, I will still give them to the customers for free. And a lot of the time, you end up getting better reviews saying, oh my God, I can't believe I got a freebie. Or if there's something wrong with the parcel, they can sometimes take it where the freebie was the reason why they got the freebie was because of that item. So I just happened to forget to include, I sell a bundle and I happen to forget something that's like, is literally just like a coin. But instead I gave them one of our freebies and they're like, oh, we just assumed it was a freebie because of this item. It wasn't, but it got us around that, lower rating. And everyone loves freebies. But so what we do is we package stuff in these bags, and the reason being is we want them to actually have a look at that QR code. That QR code is our bread and butter because reviews are more important than anything. Even when you're growing, even once you're like, we're what, a year and a half old right now. Even being a year and a half old, reviews are still your bread and butter. The more reviews you get, the better, because it means that you're going to be more noticed and all that malarkey. right? So I'm a bit cheeky with what I do. I basically put the label right here and I staple it. I staple it at the top of the baggie so they cannot get this object out without, first of all, looking at this. And hopefully, with the way that I've written it, it should capture them saying, scan the QR below to leave a review, enjoy 10% off your next order. And that is the whole reason for that giant QR code, is to catch their eyes as well as that 10% off, because everyone loves cheaper stuff. So in this case, I am forcing them to now look at this. And that's kind of what you want to do. We used to use business cards, right? Where on the back it was like, hope you loved it, hope you can give us a free 5-star review, and then it just had a link to our website with a QR code on the front. No one, because we can track that QR code, not a single person scanned that QR code out. And we had 3,000 of these business cards made, not a single person scanned it. We implemented this in, goodness, March, and we have had a huge amount of people actually scan that QR code and leave reviews on our store. Not just Etsy, on our actual Shopify store, which then Google can pick up and help bring traffic to your actual Shopify store. So that right there is another reason why printing on a receipt printer, in my opinion, is a better way than printing another sticker out on your mum bin, you know, sticker label. But that's basically the trick. And something else that's very important is your packaging. You need to make sure you package properly. The amount of people who don't. Customers love to leave bad reviews. You'll notice that the amount of orders you get, okay, if you had a bad experience, you're more than likely to leave a review if you had a bad experience and a good experience. It's just how we are. We humans, we like to complain. You need to make sure that your stuff is packaged properly and correctly and safely as well. Okay, so I have two different types of packing material. I have this honeycomb, which is cheap as anything, right? I always wrap our product up in this, okay? Always. And anything that's like loose items, like, I don't know, stickers or whatever, always put in a baggie, right? So they're all together and not knocking around a box. And make sure you just wrap it up. That's all you need to do. Is this simple bit right here just means, boom, it's now going to be safe. There's really no excuse to not look after your product. And then I have this roll of cardboard that's like, not cardboard, cardboard paper or whatever, that I crunch up, put in here, and then boom, done. And if I shake it around violently, you can't, it's not wiggling around inside, and it's going to be safe. The extra couple of pence for this and for the waffle paper or the hex or whatever people call it is worth it. It really is. The removal of the headache, the refunds, all that kind of stuff. Our first year, so our first like December time, we had probably about 10% of our parcels get damaged. We was using Every, not Royal Mail, and it just was not going good. This year, during the Christmas, so let's be honest, November and December, right? We had 2,000 orders, okay? We've had probably 5 to 10 orders that had arrived damaged, that I'm aware of, that had arrived damaged. And 3 of them, they left reviews, 1-star reviews, before I actually had the chance to sort it out with them. I have updated the product and fixed the problem that broke, right, in shipping, but being making sure that you're using a courier that isn't rubbish, right? So I use Royal Mail. Every is an absolute joke when it comes to how they treat their parcels. But just make sure everything's packaged enough where if you shake it around, you're not going to hear it. Stuff like that is simple. It's so simple and it helps out so much. I don't use personalized packaging. Everything's grey boxes or gold, like bubble mailers. I don't use anything customizable because I package this how I would have the parcel. I do not care if it's in a fancy box that's got my name all over it. That's cool. It's still going in the bloody bin. I am not keeping it. So there's no point spending more money in personalization, in my opinion, when you're doing mass production of a million different objects. If you're doing a single object, that's different because you can buy foam and stuff that can fill it out perfectly because it's the same thing over and over again. You can get that mass made, where in this case, this right here is perfect and ready to go. I also get all of my boxes and bags from Kite. Unless I run low and I need it next day, I'll grab it off eBay. But no, most of the time I grab everything off Kite. I have normal boxes, bubble mailers, and I have these, which I absolutely love. These basically fold up. They're called like e-commerce boxes, something like that, or commerce boxes. They basically fold up into a box, and then you see that strip right here. You peel it off, and then boom, you've got yourself a box, and it fits for a large letter. You need to have a side hustle in 2026 when it comes to living in the UK. Our cost of living crisis right now is insane, absolutely insane. And you need a side hustle to survive, right? So hopefully this will help you get started. Any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to see a video on something, just feel free to ask. Right now, the camera, microphone, all that kind of stuff is absolutely basic. I'm recording it on my phone, but again, the phone's good enough as the normal cameras, and just got a light bar behind it. And yeah, DJ mic. So anyway, guys, you have any questions? I don't just want to be this just to be about the print farm business. I don't mind it. I don't mind doing Shopify stuff, how to send stuff off to Amazon, all of that, how to set up an account on Amazon, how to set up a Shopify. I don't mind doing that, but I also want to show off a lot of the tips and tricks that I've learned with the 3D printing. Like, I love 3D printing. I sat in front of a computer, and I was a full-time content creator. I wasn't full-time. Well, I was full-time, but I always had a full-time job. Content creator, making YouTube videos for about 9 years. So yeah, it got very boring for me, and I wanted to do something else. And then I basically bought a printer with my last paycheck from streaming, and having it back. It's just absolutely gold. A lot more money than streaming, and a lot more fun, and a lot more physical. You can do so much. It's just really cool being a gamer and then holding the stuff that you see in game in real life and then making it actually usable. It is incredible, actually incredible. It's so great, so fun, and it's fulfilling. It's absolutely fulfilling. Yeah, cool. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave it a like and a subscription, and leave a comment down below whether you're looking to start a business or you've had a business for a while, if you're UK based or abroad, because we don't have many UK based content creators when it comes to 3D printing, I feel like, or e-commerce. There's plenty in the States side, but not really many in the UK side. Anyway, guys, you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.